Hello, this video is going to focus on lesson 4.4 in the Sanford Harmony series. This lesson is called Practice Makes Perfect. It is important to learn and practice effective approaches to resolving conflict. Conflicts can occur in any situation. This entire unit we have been focusing on strategies and ways to resolve conflict. Now we are going to apply everything we've learned in Unit 4 in this lesson today. Why is it important to know how to resolve conflict and understand how you feel about it? Many of you might be asking yourselves this question. Well, conflict happens all the time, and it's good to know how to deal with it so we can learn from these situations. The 3 conflict resolution styles. This is what we've been learning about in Unit 4. That's the owl, the shark, and the turtle. As a reminder, the solution finder, that's our owl, is an assertive approach that offers compromise and shows respect. Our goal is to strive to be the owl. The conflict avoider is the turtle, shies away from the conflict and doesn't share his or her feelings. And we have the conflict controller, that is the shark, approaches a situation with hostility so the other person feels attacked. Now, we've been working hard learning all about these 3 approaches, and hopefully you have recognized the best one that works for you to resolve conflicts that will lead you to a positive outcome. In the Step It Up approach to conflict resolution, how does the acronym STEP help us to solve problems? You might see the poster in our classroom. You might hear me say STEP quite often. But as a reminder, what does STEP really mean? Well, the S stands for stop, think, and cool off. That's the first thing you want to do when a conflict arises. Take a minute and stop, think, and cool off before you figure out how to solve the problem. Then the T stands for talk it out. And most of all, E evaluates possible solutions and consequences. This is when you're thinking about it, coming up to a compromise, thinking about what you can do and that other person can do to solve the problem. And then finally, the P stands for pick a realistic solution. Whatever you come to resolve this conflict, make sure it's actually something that's possible and long term. Our goal is to solve these conflicts so they hopefully do not happen again. Now, practice makes perfect. This 2-day activity involves practicing conflict resolution styles and using Step It Up to resolve conflict as a group. The first day, we are going to divide into groups, randomly pick a scenario card, and start writing a script that addresses conflict in an effective way. Then on day 2, we are going to finalize your script and perform it in front of the class. Now again, practice makes perfect. Learning these conflict resolution styles is very important, but it takes time to learn what works for you, and it takes time for you to learn and recognize the effective strategies that can be used to resolve conflicts. So here are the instructions. Each team will draw a conflict scenario strip from a bowl. You have today to finish writing a short script, just about 5 to 10 minutes of role play, describing the conflict and a resolution. Come up with a title for your play. The script should include the conflict resolution using the Step It Up approach. Now, if you need a further explanation on the Step It Up approach, you can go back in this video and watch that part again, or you can refer back to other videos from Unit 4. Use a blank piece of paper to brainstorm your script. Feel free to use the example script as a guide. We're going to go over an example shortly. On day 2, you'll finalize your script, practice, and role play in front of the class. The class will talk about the resolution of the conflict, decide if it was the best way to resolve it, and make suggestions. Because there's always ways that we can improve, and that will help us to better understand ways to resolve conflicts. So each team member must have a role in the writing or acting process. So to ensure that everybody's involved, we're going to fill out this form here, and these are the labels of what everybody can do. Now first, your team members, just don't forget to list all the members in your group so we know who's involved in this skit. Then your team roles. We have a director, Writers, there can be more than one. The actors, so maybe if you don't want to write, you can act it out. Maybe you want to do both. Maybe you're into just acting and you'll stick to writing. That's up to your group, but make sure everybody's involved. And the props creator, that means the person who's kind of deciding what should the props be. Do we need a notebook? Do we need a lunchbox? What needs to be in the scene to act it out? Role play title. So think of a title for this, and the characters. Who are the characters? Do they have different names? Think about that as a group. And here's an example of how you can set up your skit. Notice here we have the characters listed, that is bolded or highlighted, and then you're saying exactly what those characters should say. Take the time now and plan this out with your group. So the example script, the name is Lunch Money by the Sanford Harmony Team. So come up with a team name and a label for your skit. So notice here it's Lunch Money by the Sanford Harmony Team. Your characters, there's 6 characters involved. We have the narrator, Abby, Jeff, friend 1, friend 2, and friend 3. You can think of any names, any characters that are necessary for your skit. Now I'm going to begin reading the skit. The narrator, one sunny morning, Abby was on her way to school when Jeff and his friends confronted her. Jeff says, "Hey Abby, my mom didn't give me any lunch money today. I think you should give me yours." Friends 1 and 2 are laughing in the background. Friend 3 says, "Yeah, Abby, you should give Jeff your lunch money." Abby says, "Why would I give you my lunch money?" Jeff says, "Because you're going to be sorry. If you don't, you're going to be sorry." Friends 1 and 3 in unison at the same time say, "You're going to be sorry." Now I'm reading this as all the characters, but Jeff, when it's his turn, he's the only one talking. When it's friend 3 is the only one talking and reading that exact line. The narrator says, Abby took a deep breath. She was perplexed and didn't know what to do. She didn't want to give up her lunch money because then she would be hungry at lunchtime. But she was also afraid that if she didn't give Jeff the money, they wouldn't leave her alone. She wondered if she should run away, but that would only last until they caught up with her. Abby says, "If I give you my lunch money, I'll be hungry. That doesn't seem fair." Life just isn't fair, is it? Well, I'm not going to give you my money, but I will share something from my lunch with you. Your friends could share their lunches with you too. I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's not a bad idea. All right, done deal. Now you just have to hit your friends up for some grub too. And just laughing. Notice ended on a little bit happier note. Jeff and his friends walk off while Abby smiles to herself, feeling good about standing up to Jeff and coming up with a solution to the problem. Now, use the Step It Up worksheet to resolve the problem. So at this time, after you're done making your skit and writing it out, just like this example here, notice with the characters, a label, we are going to talk about this as a class. And I'm very excited to hear what you guys have to come up with. And as we determine, was this a good conflict resolution? Was it not? How could these characters improve? And we are going to talk about the way these characters did resolve the problem. So your task today and tomorrow is to create your skit. You can refer back to the Step It Up approach and use the worksheet to help you resolve these problems.